Hey, Pavle, welcome to the show.
Thanks, my friend. Thanks, my friend. It's good to have you here.
How are you, man? How are you?
I'm doing amazing, man. I'm doing amazing. It's been such a pleasure, being invited by you too. And I'm super excited to be here and to share my story and to share everything you and your audience want to know about me and about what I do and literally about everything you ask, right? So it's super good to be here. And as I said, Lucas is my good friend, and I've met him before, and now I'm meeting you, and you're just amazing as he is, and it's great
Hey,
to
no,
be
no, no.
here.
I'm the best.
All right,
Just kidding.
all right.
All right,
I'm
Lucas.
jealous. How has been your journey in Instagram right now until now since your beginning? What did you accomplish until now, and what is your plans for the future?
Yeah, sure, man. Thanks for this question. And people ask me this one also, because everybody has a tough start, right? Tough beginning, hard one. And for me, it was extremely tough as well, right? When I started, I had no clue with design. I had no clue with IG. I knew just a little bit, and I had no clue about the whole business thing on IG. So basically, I was completely new. I entered new industry, new thing, and I said I will dominate this thing. I will crush these things for sure, And then I started learning, everything. I had no clue how to make any design, man. It was extremely tough. I spent like my first carousel, right? First carousel which I shared, first post took me 48 hours, right? 48 hours
Wow.
to
Man,
finish first carousel, right?
that's like you creating a video, a full-length film, 48 hours, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's been straight away, right? I wasn't sleeping at all. First, I was watching Jeremy Mora's course. Then I contacted Lucas and Jeremy Mora, and Lucas and Jeremy Mora helped me with the whole thing, right? And basically, I was completely new. I was learning about design, learning about carousels. I installed Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. I had no clue how they work, right? So I had to start, learning from the basics and then creating everything from the basics. So I finished everything in 48 hours, but it was tough, man. I burned out completely, And it was going like that for like 7 or 14 days. I was so lost and so stuck because I had to spend like, at least 6 to 12 hours per carousel in the first 10 days. And then I was engaging for like, let's say 4 more hours. And, besides that, I was building my business, which is a mindset coaching, right? I'm a mindset coach. And as a mindset coach, I help people get from where they are to where they want to be, right? If somebody feels stuck in their life or if somebody wants to improve their life or their business, I'm here to jump in and help, right? And just to give you a brief introduction of what mindset coaching is, basically as a mindset coach, as I mentioned, I help people get from where they are to where they want to be. And I'm doing that through asking questions, right? I'm not educating anybody. I'm asking questions and I'm helping people find themselves, live with more awareness, find some answers.
Hey, Pavle, welcome to the show.
I'm basically asking questions which are directing them towards right answers. And I had to work on my business, right? Mindset coaching business. I had to work on carousels and engagement. I was spending like 16 to 18 hours a day in first like 15 days on IG, which was extremely tough, right? But then, when I got used, when I learned everything, when things, started rolling, everything became way easier. And, right
have a
now
question,
I
bro.
have a team. Sure, man. Go.
How did carousels help you as a mindset coach?
Basically, as a mindset coach, just like everybody else, people are sharing what they know. They're sharing their journey and they're sharing what they learn and read and so on and so forth, right? And just I'm basically sharing only the things I know, only the things I've experienced, right? I'm not one of those, who reads some post, read some book, read some YouTube video, watch something and then reshare this thing, right? I'm basically sharing everything from here, And I'm trying to put this whole mindset thing in a carousel, right? 10 slides carousel and captions. And I'm trying to make it as interesting, entertaining, valuable, and informative, right? Because if it's just pure value, right, pure explanations and topics and terms, it'll be boring. Nobody will watch that, right? But if it's informative and entertaining, people will love it, right? So I'm doing my best to make it as much entertaining as possible, while at the same time giving lots of value, right? Which is not easy, but it can be there. It can be done.
Nice. Man, another question for you is, I noticed that your English is way better than the first time we spoke. In the beginning, you sent me like audios on DM, and I couldn't understand anything almost. I had such a hard time understanding what you said. How did you improve your English so much? Is this to the Instagram thing where you have to talk to more people from foreign countries, or how is it? Because for me, I feel my English got much better since I started recording the videos, the courses and YouTube channel and everything, because I also have to talk to people in the DMs. So my English got better. I still making some mistakes, but I think it's much better than it was before. But for you, man, I think your growth, your evolution in English is huge since the beginning.
You guys are
We
speaking
are
good
talking
in
like
English.
2 months ago.
Yeah, the both of you are good in English, man. English is not my first language, so listening to the both of you
none of
guys,
us it
you're
is.
good.
I mean, English was, I had, I'll tell you a quick story about my English. So basically, I started my journey in a network marketing company, right? MLM, multi-level marketing. I was selling, and speaking and so forth. And I was doing that for like 3 years. I've built a huge team of 100 people, more than 100 people in this company, which is a lot. And, I always knew that I am here to help people, to lift people, to educate people, to speak in front of people, to be there for people, for audience, right? But I never had balls, to be honest. I never had balls, to get in front of people and speak in English, right? Because English is not my first language. Yeah. I was scared, man. I was scared. I was like, how can I be better than somebody who is, who's speaking English from when he was born, and who speaks English perfectly, and who is, speaking in front of thousands on his own language and educating in his own language. And, I can't be that good, right? But it was just a limiting belief. It was just a fear and limiting belief, right? Nothing else. Yeah. But it took me so much to break that one, right? It took me like, 4 or 5 years to break that one. I was lost. I was wondering. I was doing many things, trying many things, until I broke that limiting belief and started doing, mindset coaching in English language. And to answer your question, basically, I went to university and I spoke English all the time. And my English was, just like it is now. But then I had like a break of 3 or 6 months, not sure how much, before I started IG, right? I wasn't speaking English 3 or 6 months before this IG game. And I remember, when I sent you a DM, and to a few more people, I was disappointed with my language, man. I was disappointed with my English. It's so bad, but then, practice makes perfect, right? That's everything I would say. I was speaking, with like, let's say, at least 3 people on a course like this per day for next, let's say, 6 days. I had hundreds of meetings in like 30 or 40 days, which is a lot. Meetings like this, right? Video calls, and I had to speak, right? So basically, I was practicing a lot, listening a lot. But I would majorly say everything is in practice, right? This thing, as we do now, right? That's the best way to practice English, to craft it and to make it better. So that's the major difference, from me when you met me and me right now. Practice.
That's something I agree. You only get better in something when you always do it. Like practice makes perfect.
Yeah, sure, man. Just jumping on this one, basically educating yourself, watching educational material, video courses, audios, reading books, doesn't matter. It's all good, right? It's all very useful, but without practice, without actual trying of, those things, nothing will change. Or just a little bit will change, just a little bit.
Tell us a little about your story before I know you. I knew you on Instagram. What did you do? How did you get into this point? And why you choose this path, because you just told me you were in multi-level marketing. Tell us a little more about this.
Yeah, sure, man. Basically, since I was a kid, right, like a 14 or 15 years old kid, let's say, I started educating myself, on personal development, right? How can I grow? How can I become best version of myself? How can I learn more things? How can I understand people better? I started learning about psychology, about human behavior, about people, about communications, speaking, so many things when I was very young. I was 15 years old. And, I wanted to start a business at that time, but I had no money. I had no experience. I had no age, right? I didn't have anything, right? And then I asked my dad, could you borrow me, like 800 euros, to open a popcorn stand, stand where I sell popcorns, right? And, he didn't want to do that, right? Because I was young, I was lost. But I actually went to government and asked for papers and everything else, to open this thing, because I wanted to start business so much, because I had potential, I had capacity, right? And I wanted to start making money, dealing with
How
people.
old are you?
Right now?
No. How old were you when you did this?
I was like 14, man. I was 14 at the time.
Wow, that's very young. No wonder your dad won't give you like the investment for a popcorn stand.
I don't know. Anyways, when I was 14, I wanted to open that thing, but I didn't, right? And it didn't happen. But I wanted it so much, But it didn't stop me, I thought. I kept learning. I kept educating myself and growing. And, basically at the age of 17, I figured out this thing, called network marketing through one of my not that good friends, right? And he explained this concept to me, and I fell in love with that one. I was completely, enlightened by concept of network marketing, because I saw the vision of how it will push me to grow myself in order to get what I want, right? I had to, as a 17 years old guy at that time, I had to sell products which cost from $1,000 to $10,000 to people who were 25, 30, 35, and more. And I was just 17, and it wasn't possible for me at the time. I was completely scared and lost. But I knew one thing, right? I knew that if I want to make something in this life, if I want to break my comfort zone, to make something huge, to impact people's lives, I have to start breaking it early, right? I mean, I don't have, but I should, right? I should.